Where's the beef? Ranchers take stand over synthetic meat label. Before I get into this, I just want to say I'm back. I took a little vacation, took a family vacation. First time in a long time that I actually took the family out on vacation. But I'm back now, and I'm here covering the news. Um, this that we're covering today is crazy that they are creating fake meat in a lab and selling it to you as real meat. They don't even want to label it as synthetic meat. And we all know why. It's the same thing they did with um, the GMO stuff. They didn't want to label GMO stuff because they know that if people had a choice and they knew what they were getting, they would get the real stuff as opposed to the genetically modified or lab grown stuff. So the synthetic people are fighting against ranchers and farmers that want to protect real meat. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. American cattle ranchers are preparing to defend the definition of meat from makers of synthetic lab-grown beef alternatives. That's right, I'm not making this stuff up. They want to make fake meat and want to be able to call it real meat and not tell you that you're eating synthetic meat. But quote, this is a non-negotiable boundary. It's unjust for these artificially manufactured items to profit from the hard work of cattle ranchers, stated Justin Tupper, president of United States Cattlemen's Association, in an interview with the Epic Times. Quote, we're discussing artificially produced cell-cultured products that can mimic meat to some extent, but they are not real meat. It's crucial for American consumers to recognize this, Mr. Tupper further emphasized. And I 1000% agree. You should be able to know what you're eating. And I think it's funny that the government isn't stepping in to stop these synthetic makers of meat from be able to call themselves meat. We know why. They're bought and paid for. We know people like Bill Gates is pushing this stuff, and Bill Gates pretty much tell our government what to do. So I don't see them actually being able to label it. The same stuff that happened with, like I said, with the GMO is the same stuff that's going to happen with real meat. But the market for synthetic meat is already established in the U.S. Last year, the USDA permitted 2 companies to produce and sell lab-grown poultry products in the country. While a decision on labeling hasn't been made yet, the cattle industry intends to be assertively proactive in dialogue with the USDA. And I'm glad that they are, because they would try to sneak this stuff in. But if necessary, they're prepared to take legal action, having learned from the dairy industry's experience. And that's basically what I was alluding to with the whole GMO stuff. But, quote, the dairy industry mishandled this situation, Mr. Tupper remarked. They didn't anticipate that almond milk would be seen as real milk, and they dismissed it at the time. Now, numerous products with milk in their name, but no actual milk in them, have damaged the dairy sector. Just as you can't milk an almond, you can't obtain meat from a lab. Only animals can provide that. We won't let them exploit our name to promote their product. Synthetic meat-like products are generated by placing animal cells in a warm, sterile environment, typically a metal container. These cells are then combined with chemicals that cause them to double daily. The demand for lab-grown meat is mainly driven by corporate entities and government agencies collaborating with the environmental movement. Most people don't want this crap. That's why they have to push it through these entities. Investor Bill Gates, associated with Upside Foods, one of the USDA-approved synthetic meat producers, believes meat alternatives are necessary to combat climate catastrophes caused by greenhouse gases. Again, this is all fake. We don't believe in the so-called climate change hoax. This is all, again, about social control. They want to be able to tell you what you can eat, what you can't eat, and tell you what to do, when to go outside, and all these other things. And this is part of their conditioning. But in a 2021 interview, Mr. Gates argued for wealthy nations to shift entirely to synthetic beef. He mentioned that taste preferences can be adapted to, and the goal is to improve the taste over time. No, you adapt to that disgusting meat. I refuse to eat that stuff. Why eat fake meat when you can eat the real thing? But switching from animal to lab-grown meat would eliminate the need for breeding and slaughtering animals. However, beef production's greenhouse gas contribution is minimal compared to energy and transportation sectors. Only 2% of the U.S. greenhouse gas emissions result from beef production, while energy and transportation sector account for 54% according to U.S. EPA. Now, we're going to talk about the Italian ban. American ranchers aren't alone in expressing concerns. Following a petition with 2 million signatures, the Italian Senate recently passed a bill making Italy the first nation to outlaw the production of marketing of synthetic meat due to health worries. And good on them for banning that. We need to follow suit here. But Ettore Predani, president of Corretti, the primary Italian agriculture association, hailed this as a victory against corporate power. He stated that lab-produced products are more like pharmaceuticals than food. And I 1,000% agree with that. It's basically pharmaceuticals because they can manipulate that and put anything they want in it. But a UN report from April 2023 on cell-based food products identified 53 potential health risks, including the possibility of new toxins, allergens, or changes due to genomic instability. The report called for further research and funding for more conclusive findings. Mr. Tupper doesn't advocate for banning synthetic foods, but he does call for transparency. He believes that despite corporate and governmental support for alternatives, real beef isn't going away. And I 1,000% agree. If people choose to eat that crap, that's on them. That's like when they get the jab. If people choose to get the jab, that's fine. That's their choice. But don't be pushing it on me. Don't be pushing this synthetic crap on me. But, quote, the fundamental truth is that the genuine beef flavor cannot be replicated. Moreover, when people learn about the chemical makeup of this imitation meat, they'll conclude that beef should come from cows, not laboratories. He goes on to say, we hope the USDA will accurately label this product as a chemical-derived cellular derivative. Tupper added, and I 1,000% agree. Hopefully they'll label this stuff. We know that the people like Bill Gates are going to fight against labeling because, again, most people don't want this crap. It doesn't taste like real meat. We don't want it. So at least label it and give us a choice. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.